Hey everybody, welcome back to the episode on My Mall Shop Creations. Today, I'm going to be showing you my final on my Johann 1965 Rambler American 440. So without further ado, let's roll the intro. Alright, so as you can see, I've successfully hinged the trunk. And it's all in place, everything's there, all complete. Here, what should I start with? So, if this is the first video that you're watching on this Johann restoration series, this was picked up at a model show in Fulton, in the US, New York, Fulton, New York. And it was in one of those Tupperware containers where you can dig through and find old built kits. This was one of the old built kits that my dad pointed out when I was shuffling through it. And he was like, "Oh, dude, that's a Johann." I'm like, "What, it is?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, pick it up." And I bought it for $25, which is about $32-ish Canadian. Which isn't bad, considering this is a $400 kit complete with the box and whatever, unbuilt. But, I mean, it's perfect for what I like to do. I do care for the boxes, but in this case it looked like a lost cause kit, but it wasn't. When I started digging through the bag that we got, and as I looked more and more, I was like, oh dude, this is complete. And originally I thought we were missing one rim for the wheel or the tire or whatever. But it was actually just stuck onto the back of a different tire, so it was a complete kit except for a bowling ball bag and a tennis racket. And that is okay, because those are just separate pieces that go in the trunk and whatnot. Actually, the middle of the spare tire was missing, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Anyways, so in this kit, it comes with an opening hood and an opening trunk, like the original kit. So it actually had the trunk already taken off the body for me, so I figured this would be a good starter kit to try and experiment with hinging model cars. While I was actually thinking about it, there are like these two indentations in the hood and in the trunk pan where you put a little a little piece of styrene rod so it would just articulate up and down. But I wanted it to stay open without any pins like the front, but I'll explain why I did the front like that. Anyway, so I wanted it to open without any pins at the back because it would just obstruct the view and take away from the model kit. So I ended up taking this, grab it down here, this little metal wire right here, and some styrene sheet, styrene tube, and some styrene rod to connect it to the actual underbody of the pan. I think I showed that in a couple of in my last update, I believe. So if you haven't watched that, you should. But yeah, so it was kind of difficult. When I was doing the fitment for the final assembly, I ran into an issue. Some of the interior of the trunk pan was actually not fitting correct, and it was obstructing the movement of the hinge. So I actually had to cut the trunk pan down, like completely take it off, clip the part that was interfering off, and then glue it back in, and then make sure it articulated correctly, and it did. I painted the engine AMC blue. I showed that in a couple videos before. When I was looking at reference photos online, you notice that there's that big, oops, I almost dropped something. There's that big black line down the middle of the car, right down there. And that is actually on the real car in real life. So I just took a fine print Sharpie, and I went over that first, and then I went with my Fly-C chrome pen around it, around the black part, The little American 440 logos back here and on the side down here, that was all done with Molotov pen. And I originally had a 1mm Molotov pen, and then while I was shaking it, half of it broke off, so it's literally 0.5 of a millimeter. So it's super small, but it actually worked out good, because then I can do details like that, and like this, where it's only on the Rambler American instead of the whole square, and it looks kind of goofy. For the chrome on the rims and the front grille and the bumpers and whatnot, I did Rust-Oleum Chrome. I think it's just called Rust-Oleum Chrome, and it's a spray can. It's big. It's the size of normal Rust-Oleum cans, and it works amazing. And it looks awesome. If you get it correctly, if you warm up your can and spray it over, you have to do a light coat and then a heavy coat and then leave it for like 3 days. Oh man, it looks so nice. I mean, you can see it on camera. It looks great, right? But another thing, the one thing that I had to add was the side view mirror. That was actually out of the Revell Special Edition 1969 Chevy Nova 2-in-1 kit. I took that out of there because it was the most accurate to what I was trying to get, and it's a 2-piece, which is super cool because then I can adjust it to how the articulation that I want. The windows I actually had to replace, so I'll show you what went wrong. Right now, I'll show you what went wrong. It's the, oops, I bumped the camera a little bit, but you can see it warped with the heat of the Dremel, and it just did not turn out great. So we ended up taking sheet plastic and doing it that way, and it looks more realistic in my opinion because it's a lot thinner to actual scale. I did not put actual hinges on the front hood because in the assembly the firewall was in the way, and then the interior bucket stuck up right against the firewall, so there was no way for me to make articulating hinges like that. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but I did do a little bit of scratch, well, it's not even scratch building, kinda, I guess, but I'll take it off and show you. So, these little half square things, I don't know, half moon things, half moon things, those are just styrene pieces, and I took them and I traced them onto a piece of styrene sheet, and it turned out pretty good. That's it with the hood on. It looks kind of funny because the way that the plastic molded in the kit, it kind of warped near the edges, down near the closer to the windshield, but that's okay. I mean, I'm gonna have the hood displayed open anyways to show the AMC blue and AMC blue engine. I will show you guys the interior pieces. Let me just see if I can pause this camera really quick. Alright, so as you can see, we have all the, I guess, more interesting, hard to find pieces out on the turntable. And you can see the hinge work inside the trunk too. But when this thing turns around, of course, I'll show you. So I have the jack from the original kit, it's coming around first. The spare tire, the suitcase, and the cooler. We were missing the bowling ball bag and the tennis racket like I mentioned earlier, but that is okay because only these 4 items can fit in the trunk. No matter how hard I try, I can't fit like any other small styrene piece in there. Compacts pretty nicely. Nice for display, but I'll show you, there's the jack. I didn't chrome any of it, I want to keep it original. I probably will in the future though. Here's the cooler. If you remember in my updates, I painted it with primer first, and then I taped the top off, and then I painted it with Rust-Oleum blue. So that turned out nice as well. Here's the suitcase. painted it with Rust-Oleum tan, I think, and did the chrome on the handle and the hinges. I don't think I was supposed to do chrome on the hinges, but that's okay. When it turns around, I'll grab the spare tire. I think I can grab it now, actually. But this is the spare tire. So I took this spare inner rim out of a different kit, or it wasn't a kit. Took it out of the parts box. I'm not sure what it was from though, but when I looked at the instructions, it looked pretty similar to the design of this one. I painted the nuts chrome with the chrome marker, and yeah, so I think that turned out pretty nice. That's how it displays. And actually, when it turns around, I'll take this up and I'll show you how this hinging stuff works. So I think you can see just in there kind of where my orange thing is down here. I don't know if you can see that because I painted it black, but there's the hinge back here. And it's connected to the interior pan, their interior trunk, but I can close it, right? Have it closed. It does go down a little bit, but it just takes some fiddling to do, and if I want to display it like that. And that's why I left the chassis unglued, so I could adjust that if I needed to. But, and you can open it, and it stays open. And yeah, you can see where I had to cut back the interior pan, or trunk pan, back there, because the hinges wouldn't move, but that's okay. All good. But I will display it with the trunk closed just to give you an idea of how it would look if I didn't hinge it. That's what it would look like. Just gonna go around the turntable for a bit. I mean, obviously you can see that there is a two-tone. I did white primer, and then I taped off the roof, and then I did duplicolor. What is it called? What does it say? It says Hampstead Green. Duplicolor Hampstead Green, if you want to use that for any of your models. And the interior, for the dashboard and the front seats, I use Tamiya Pearl Green. It's a little bit of a lighter hue. It looks funny on camera, I bet, but yeah, I did two-tone for that. White top of the dashboard, white on the inner seats, white on the rear piece here. I forget what it's called. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. There's I was actually missing another thing I totally forgot to mention. One of the shifters on the kit was missing, so I took a piece of metal wire, and then I took BSI glue. This stuff, actually. This BSI glue. I put a blob of it on, sprayed it with this Insta Set, and it made a nice shifter ball sort of thing. Shifter handle. Make it look all nice. I mean, it worked pretty well. The tail lights are actually, I actually painted them over with primer and body color, and then I went over them with chrome marker, and then Tamiya acrylic hand paint. It's clear red, X27. My dad got this a long time ago. It's lasted forever. We also have an orange for turn signals, but rarely use that. So yeah, that was completely crazy, because I was trying to get it out of the body before painting, but it just would not budge. It was really glued in there. Someone like really glued it in there, which is crazy, because usually old glue comes apart easy, but this did not. So I actually had to leave it in. But that's okay. So what's next on the channel? I think I will be starting a 1960, what is that, 65 Plymouth Satellite kit by Mobius. If you remember from a little while ago, or actually probably a while ago now, I did a camping unboxing with my dad, and we opened up a 1965 Plymouth Belvedere 1, or I, however you would like to say it. It's also by Mobius, and we were super impressed with the unboxing and just the overall pieces and how it was molded, and the instructions especially, its colored instructions. Pretty impressive. And I've got a lot of comments on that video saying that I will be impressed with Mobius and it goes together quite nicely. So I'll be definitely looking forward to the satellite kit. And maybe, I was thinking, since I have some of that wire left and some more styrene tube, I might just try, maybe, possibly, might try to hinge the trunk on the satellite too. I won't spoil too much of what I'm going to do, so you guys will have to stay tuned to see if you guys want to see what I'm going to do on that. But yeah, that should be pretty interesting. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stick around for more of these builds on the channel. I will keep posting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you'd like, leave a comment what you think. It'd be nice to hear some of you guys' feedback. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.